So I did it again. I bought a new camera, but this time I've bought a small camera, and I was looking for a camera that was smaller than my cameras that I use on a regular basis, professionally and for my YouTube channel, because the camera that I'm shooting on right now, the Lumix camera, is a full frame camera, and I really love this camera. It's an amazing camera, but to pull that out of my pocket and shoot some clips with it, I think it's too big to film in public. You know, I'm a little bit of camera shy, you can say. So I was really thinking about getting a point and shoot camera. And then DJI obviously released the DJI OSMO Pocket 3, and I saw that they put a 1-inch sensor in the camera, and I thought, I need it. So I placed an order, but obviously in the Netherlands the creator edition was sold out everywhere. So I kept searching on the internet, and a couple of days ago there was a shop who had it in stock. So I've made a reservation, cancelled my other order, and I went to the store and just bought the creator edition. So I just made a quick stop to grab myself some drink, because it's almost an hour of driving. We need to go to Haarlem, and I live near Rotterdam. So we have to drive a couple of miles, but the camera is definitely worth it. So the package is secured. I have bought the DJI OSMO Pocket 3, and I'm very curious what this camera is capable of, and I'm curious about that 1-inch sensor. So I'm going to unpack it and show you guys what this camera is like. So this is the first recording on the DJI OSMO Pocket 3, and I'm using the DJI Mic 2. And I'm curious how it sounds and how the image looks. It's getting pretty dark outside, and in the car there is not much light, so I'm curious how this 1-inch sensor captures a low light scene. So I will import it to the computer and see what it looks like. So back to the studio setup. I am now recording again on the S5 Mark II, but if you ask my opinion, this camera from DJI is a really capable camera. It's very convenient to shoot with, and I think the image quality that is produced by this small camera, I'm stunned with the footage. Actually, the low light footage that I show you guys, I think for such a small camera and a 1-inch sensor, I think DJI did a really good job at the low light scenes. There is a low light mode on the camera, and you can definitely tell the difference between shooting in the low light mode and just shooting in 4K 24 frames, or what frame rate you're shooting in. So another great thing that DJI did is a software update, and by that software update they allow you to shoot in 4K 120 frames per second. And the great thing about that is that the camera doesn't crop into the image to achieve that 120 frames. So you get the same image quality if you're shooting on 60 frames or 30 frames per second, but now you can bump it up to 120 frames per second. So if you are really into the slow-mo thing, you can use this DJI as well. So another great question about this camera is, can you use it as a studio camera, like talking head cameras in your studio, put it on the tripod, press record and keep going? Obviously the answer is yes. I think the image quality that this camera produces with good studio lights is amazing. And another amazing thing about this camera that I want to show you guys is the autofocus on this camera. This thing actually has autofocus, so it has another mode called product showcase, and the Sony cameras already have this function, but I think to see it now in a camera small like this, that's amazing. So if I put an object in front of the lens to show you guys, for example this, you can see the camera focuses on the SD card and see how much separation you get with the background. I'm really blurred now, and the object, oh, you can keep it really close. It is in focus, and if I put away the SD card, you see it snaps back at my face and puts the focus on my face. So I think DJI has come a long way to achieve this kind of technique in such a small camera. So who is this camera actually for? I really think DJI has targeted the beginners with this camera because it's an entry price, I think, for buying a first camera, but also for people who are into the camera systems like me. I have a much more expensive setup, but I really like to use this camera as well. So if you're just starting out on YouTube, or just buy it as a family camera to record clips of your kids or your grandma, or name it, I think this is a very capable camera. You've got amazing image quality, you've got stable footage, and I think for this price, especially the creator kit that comes with the new DJI mic, it's an amazing deal. So good job DJI, and I can't wait to see what you guys will make in the future. So that was it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one.